Ooh, this one is shaking the entire Braxton family tree. Y'all, and Tamar did not hold back. In a moment that has social media losing its mind, Tamar just dropped a bombshell that no one was ready for. She's claiming that Towanda is actually Ashlee's biological mother, not Trina, not Tamar, not some cousin, but Towanda. And baby, the way she said it, with full chest and zero hesitation. What's worse, she claimed Evelyn helped cover it up for years, even going as far as falsifying hospital records and forcing Tamar to stay silent when she found out the truth. Fans are spiraling. Ashlee is devastated. And Towanda? Radio silent. The receipts are being pulled, baby pictures compared, and rumors from over a decade ago are being dusted off like fresh tea. The Braxtons have had their fair share of drama, but this is a whole new level. Is Tamar exposing the truth? Or is she finally taking revenge after years of betrayal? Either way, one thing's for sure, the secrets this family kept are about to rip them apart. The whispers had always been there, but no one ever dared to say it out loud. That is, until Tamar Braxton grabbed the mic during a heated podcast appearance and straight up said the words, "Fans are still trying to process. Let's stop playing games. Towanda is Ashlee's real mother, and she knows it." The silence in that studio was deafening. The host's jaw hit the table. Tamar didn't flinch. She leaned in, looked straight at the camera, and said, "They can try to bury it, they can lie, but I lived it, and I'm tired of keeping Evelyn's secrets." Just like that, the entire Braxton family legacy was on fire. Backstage sources revealed Tamar had been sitting on this truth for years. But something snapped in her after a recent family sit-down, where Evelyn allegedly demanded she sign a non-disclosure agreement to prevent certain things from ever going public, specifically anything related to Ashlee's paternity. Tamar refused. The same night, she left the dinner in tears and went silent on group texts for 2 weeks. The next time the world heard from her, she was unloading decades of buried truth in one breath. But what made her speak now? Some insiders believe it was guilt, others say it was revenge. But Tamar made it clear in her own words, "Y'all ain't gonna keep playing with me like I'm crazy. I know what I saw. I know what I was told. And I've got receipts." And the receipts? Baby, they are jaw-dropping. Tamar claimed she found a document in an old box of Evelyn's, a birth record with a hospital logo from Atlanta, dated just a few months before Ashlee's official birth certificate. The mother's name? Towanda B. The father's section was blank. The child's first name was scribbled out, but the birth weight and time exactly matched Ashlee's. Tamar says she snapped a photo before Evelyn caught her looking and immediately burned the original in the fireplace. But that wasn't all. She claimed Evelyn forced the entire family to participate in the cover-up, telling them it was for Towanda's protection, and warning that revealing the truth could destroy the brand. Tamar says she was only a teenager when she first learned the truth, but the weight of the lie followed her into adulthood and nearly tore her and Ashlee apart. Now fans are connecting dots that were always there but ignored. The unusually tense dynamic between Towanda and Ashlee, the off-limits conversations during Braxton Family Values filming, the way Evelyn always seemed to overcompensate when Ashlee was around, while Towanda seemed to fade into the background, tense and detached. And what about Ashlee? She's reportedly devastated. Sources close to her say she never suspected a thing. She was raised believing her aunt Towanda was just that, an aunt. Her real mom had always been vague, with stories changing depending on the day. Evelyn supposedly told her she was adopted through a private family arrangement. Now, she's questioning everything. Evelyn? She's gone underground. No comments. No statements. Nothing but a quiet retreat to her Florida property, where paparazzi spotted her pacing by the pool, phone glued to her ear. Reporters are circling, family lawyers are on edge, and behind the scenes, VH1 is reportedly scrambling to re-edit scenes from an upcoming Braxton docuseries that might have indirectly referenced Ashlee's backstory. The internet is losing it. Number Towanda is the mother is trending. Memes are flying. Interviews are being re-watched with a new lens. and fans are choosing sides. Some say Tamar is being messy, others call her brave. But no one can deny it, this is the biggest Braxton bombshell of all time. And the deeper we dig, the more twisted it gets. Towanda Braxton hadn't said a single word, but her silence was screaming. While the internet ran wild, dissecting Tamar's explosive claims, Towanda deactivated comments on all her socials and turned off Instagram Live notifications. No cryptic quotes, no denials, no damage control, just a cold, eerie quiet that made everyone even more suspicious. Because let's be honest, if the claim wasn't true, why wouldn't she clap back immediately? Behind the scenes, however, sources say Towanda was absolutely losing it. According to one insider close to the Braxton family, she allegedly stormed into Evelyn's home the night after the podcast aired and demanded answers. Screaming, crying, pacing the whole thing, she reportedly shouted, "You promised this would never come out. You promised me." Neighbors claimed they heard raised voices and even glass breaking. But Evelyn, calm and cold as ever, simply told her, "You should have handled your truth before Tamar did." And just like that, the entire cover-up began unraveling. Family insiders say this secret wasn't just a quiet whisper in the halls, it was a full-blown operation. Apparently, Evelyn had orchestrated everything from the very beginning. When Towanda got pregnant in her early 20s, allegedly by a high-profile executive in the music industry who was already married, the Braxton matriarch moved fast. She allegedly arranged for a private birth under an alias, transferred guardianship through legal proxies, and placed Ashlee under the family umbrella as a distant cousin taken in by love. It was supposed to be airtight, but Evelyn didn't count on one thing: Tamar's mouth and memory. Tamar, in later comments to friends, said she always knew something was off. She remembers being told as a teenager not to ask too many questions when baby Ashlee appeared. But one moment stuck with her, a quiet exchange between Towanda and baby Ashlee during a family vacation, when Ashlee, just 3 years old, cried for mommy. And Towanda instinctively turned and picked her up, whispering, "Mommy's here." Tamar claims she never forgot that. And when Evelyn tried to gaslight her later, she kept a journal, writing down all the strange inconsistencies. She never planned to speak, but once she discovered the hospital record and confirmed Ashlee had never seen it, she couldn't hold it in anymore. Ashlee, meanwhile, is in emotional freefall. Sources say she confronted Evelyn after the news broke, demanding the truth. What she got was a stammered explanation that didn't deny anything, only begged her to stay quiet until things calmed down. But Ashlee isn't a child anymore, and she reportedly told Evelyn to her face, "If you lie to me one more time, I swear I'll go public myself." She's already taken the first steps. Legal insiders confirm that Ashlee has filed a petition to unseal her original birth records, claiming she was never properly informed of her biological history and may have been misled by her legal guardians. If granted, those documents could confirm everything and officially put Towanda as mother on paper. And just like that, the lie of 20-plus years could be undone. The fan reactions? Chaotic. Some are rallying behind Tamar, calling her a hero for exposing generational manipulation. Others are dragging her, saying this wasn't her truth to tell. But the most passionate voices? They're standing with Ashlee, who now finds herself in the center of a lie she never asked for, a pawn in a game of control, power, and family image. VH1 producers are panicking. The Braxton docuseries was supposed to be about rebuilding sisterhood. Instead, they now have the most scandalous reality storyline in years, but with cameras that weren't rolling when it happened. Insiders say they've offered Tamar and Ashlee a private sit-down episode to clear the air, but neither has agreed, yet. The pressure is mounting. The stakes are rising. And one thing is crystal clear. The truth doesn't care who's ready for it. It's coming. The fallout was instantaneous and catastrophic. Within 72 hours of Tamar's bombshell, brand deals were on pause, publicists were issuing non-statements, and Ashlee Braxton's entire identity was up for scrutiny. The girl who once stayed quiet in the shadow of her famous aunts was now front and center, Not because of her talent but because of the secret they all fought to bury. Insiders revealed Ashlee didn't just stop at unsealing records. She reportedly hired a private investigator to trace her early medical history and confirm the original hospital and doctor listed on the birth certificate Tamar described. And while HIPAA laws restricted most info, her team did locate a nurse who allegedly worked the night baby B was delivered at an Atlanta hospital in the early 2000s. A nurse who remembered one thing very clearly. That girl was young. Scared. She kept asking for her mother. She didn't want to be seen. And the name she gave matched a Braxton. Towanda. That quiet confirmation sent shockwaves behind the scenes. No one had gone on record yet, but the pieces were stacking high. And Tamar? She was just getting started. In a follow-up IG Live, she went off, tears in her eyes and fire in her voice. I've held so much for this family. But not anymore. If I lose y'all, I lose y'all. But Ashlee deserves the truth. She'd been asking for years why she never felt connected. And they gaslit her. Over and over. And I'm done watching it. The comments were flooded. Some praised her bravery. Others begged her to stop. A few accused her of doing it all for clout. But Tamar insisted, this ain't about a storyline. This is about my niece. My niece. And y'all gon' stop acting like I'm crazy for remembering things that y'all want to forget. Towanda, however, wasn't staying silent forever. Finally, after 5 days of full-blown chaos, she broke. In a professionally staged interview with a media outlet known for celebrity crisis control, she sat down, face full of makeup, voice shaking, and addressed the storm. I love Ashlee more than anything. But I am not her biological mother. And I'm hurt that my own sister would go to these lengths just to attack me. But something felt off. The way her voice trembled, the way she kept looking off camera, the phrasing too rehearsed, too sanitized. Fans weren't buying it. And neither was Ashlee, who posted a single response to Towanda's video that read, "The truth doesn't shake like that." And then came the big twist. A producer from the Braxton Family Values series leaked unseen footage from season 4, an episode that never aired due to family discomfort. In the clip, Evelyn, off guard and clearly annoyed, snapped at a young Ashlee, telling her, "You don't get to ask about where you came from. Be grateful we gave you a name." The internet erupted. Fans screamed, "That's the smoking gun." The quote trended on X. Tamar reposted it with a caption, "Now tell me I'm lying." The Braxton brand was crumbling in real time. What had once been a powerful Black family legacy of sisterhood, survival, and soulful strength was now a cautionary tale of secrets, shame, and silence. Talk show invitations were being declined. Their reunion special was postponed indefinitely. And major networks reportedly pulled offers for a future Braxton biopic. And still, no DNA test. No formal confirmation. Just mounting evidence, emotional breakdowns, and a family spinning further and further apart. What happens next could rewrite everything. It all came crashing down in the courtroom, and not in the way anyone expected. After Ashlee's legal filing to unseal her birth records hit the blogs, Towanda made one final desperate move to stop it. She filed a countersuit, claiming emotional distress and defamation of character against Tamar, and any individuals responsible for damaging her maternal identity. It was a bold, risky move, but one that might have backfired spectacularly. Why? Because it forced the court to open the very records Towanda was trying to keep sealed. Boom. Court documents leaked just hours later confirmed the name on the original birth certificate, Towanda Braxton. The attending physician had signed off. The timestamp matched Tamar's story, and just like that, the truth Tamar had been screaming about for weeks was now legally verified. Ashlee was Towanda's daughter. There was no denying it anymore. Social media exploded. Number Tamar was right, and number Towanda lied shot to the top of trending charts. Tamar went live again, holding back tears this time. Not out of rage but relief. "Y'all called me crazy, y'all dragged me, but I told you, and now this baby finally knows who she is." Ashlee, who had kept quiet for days, finally broke her silence too. In a raw and emotional post, she wrote, My whole life I was lied to. I loved people who never gave me the truth. I don't know who I am anymore. But I know who I'm not. And that's someone's secret. She then removed the Braxton name from her social media and replaced it with just Ashlee B. Her bio now read, "Reclaiming my truth. Don't ask me to stay silent." The Braxton family? In full collapse. Evelyn reportedly suffered a panic attack shortly after the records leaked. Paramedics were called to her Florida home, but she was released after evaluation. Tony canceled her appearance at a benefit concert. Trina refused to comment. And VH1 officially shelved the Braxton reboot indefinitely. One producer said bluntly, "You can't film a show when the entire cast is suing, grieving, and deleting each other's numbers." Towanda's reaction? A mess. Her legal team withdrew the defamation claim within 48 hours of the records leaking. They issued a weak statement, blaming miscommunication and legal pressure. But Towanda herself posted nothing, not even a denial. No video, no interview, nothing. Just a black square on her feed, captioned, "Fans weren't having it. You lied for 2 decades," one comment read. "And now you want a prayer emoji?" But what hurt the most was Ashlee's quiet rejection. According to close friends, Towanda reached out privately, begging to meet, offering a tearful apology. Ashlee refused. She told her mother, now confirmed in every sense, that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, and right now, I need distance. And Tamar? She was the only one still standing. Bruised. Battered. But standing. Her bravery. Her receipts. Her unwavering fight for the truth, it changed everything. Even her critics had to admit it. Tamar wasn't being messy. She was protecting her niece. The question now, can this family ever recover? The Braxton name was now synonymous with betrayal. Fans who once adored their tight-knit dynamic were now watching the family unravel in real time, piece by piece, scandal by scandal. The headlines weren't just shocking, they were historic. Never before had a reality TV dynasty exposed such a personal, soul-crushing secret and on such a public stage. And at the center of it all stood Towanda. Once a quiet force in the background, now branded a liar, a manipulator, and a mother who abandoned her child. Towanda's mental state reportedly deteriorated fast. Insiders close to her team said she stopped eating, cried constantly, and refused to leave her house. "She's not handling this well," one assistant told a tabloid anonymously. "It's like she's mourning her entire life at once." Friends begged her to release a real statement, not the polished one her legal team wrote. But Towanda stayed silent, paralyzed by the reality that her deepest secret had become her biggest shame. Meanwhile, Ashlee had begun reclaiming herself. She announced a full name change and filed to amend her birth certificate with the newly confirmed paternity. In a bold Instagram post, she declared, "I've lived 22 years in a lie. This next chapter, mine. On my terms." She followed it up with a teaser clip from a documentary she was co-producing titled, "Ashlee, the Girl They Tried to Erase." The trailer featured flashes of old family footage, blurred out documents, and a voiceover saying, "They hid me in plain sight." Tamar was heavily involved. She served as executive producer on the project and appeared in the trailer briefly, stating, "I wasn't going to let another generation be silenced. Not on my watch." Evelyn Braxton was now fully backed into a corner. Fans demanded answers, critics flooded her mentions, and churches began distancing themselves from her family ministry appearances. A canceled book deal was rumored. Behind the scenes, she reportedly offered Ashlee a private settlement to avoid further humiliation, but Ashlee refused. "I don't want your money," she told her directly. "I want you to admit what you did." But Evelyn couldn't bring herself to say it. Even now, she insisted to friends that everything I did was to protect my family. Tamar clapped back immediately on Twitter. "No ma'am, you didn't protect us, you controlled us." Tony remained silent but not neutral. At a recent charity event, she was asked by a journalist if she stood with Tamar or Towanda. Her response? "I stand with the truth. That's all I'll say." And that was all she needed to say. The internet ran with it. Number Tony Knows trended for days. Fans began dissecting old interviews and clips where Tony looked visibly uncomfortable during family conversations around Ashlee's upbringing. People were putting it all together now, and the puzzle painted a disturbing picture of long-term family control masked as love. Towanda's world was shrinking fast. Brand deals? Gone. Podcast projects? Pulled. Family connections? Severed. Trina blocked her on socials. Tamar hadn't spoken to her since the confirmation, and Ashlee refused to meet, even after multiple letters were sent through lawyers. "She doesn't get to cry now," Ashlee reportedly said. "She had 22 years to be a mother. And just when things seemed like they couldn't go any lower, they did." A second birth record surfaced. This one wasn't just legal, it was handwritten. A private journal entry from Evelyn, leaked by someone inside the family, which read, "We'll tell her it's a distant cousin. If Towanda keeps her mouth shut, this will never come back. God help us all if Tamar finds out." That one sentence shattered the final illusion. The public was now 100% behind Tamar and Ashlee. The world saw it clearly now. This wasn't about keeping a secret. This was about stealing someone's identity. And Tamar? She was about to make one final move, one that would shake the Braxton legacy forever. Tamar Braxton had always been the loud one, but now her voice was healing generations. After the DNA truth, the leaked journal entry, and the worldwide support that poured in for Ashlee, Tamar took the spotlight not for drama, but for justice. She announced that she and Ashlee would co-author a memoir together titled Uncovered: The Lie That Raised Me. The goal wasn't just to tell the story, but to reclaim the narrative that had been stolen from both of them. In a moving live stream that drew over 2 million views in 48 hours, Tamar held Ashlee's hand and let her speak freely for the first time. "I didn't ask for this, but I also didn't deserve to live in a lie," Ashlee said, tears in her eyes. "I love myself now more than I ever have because now I finally know who I am. I just wish my truth didn't come with so much pain." Tamar kissed her hand and simply said, "You are not a secret anymore. You are a miracle." Towanda was absent, and the world noticed. While her team tried to pivot into a narrative of healing and moving forward, fans weren't ready to forgive. Some demanded a public apology. Others wanted her held legally accountable for falsifying identity records. But most just wanted her to say the one thing she never could: "I lied." But that confession never came. Evelyn, under pressure from both fans and legal advisors, finally issued a public video not through her usual religious channels, but through a direct Instagram upload. She wore no makeup. Her voice cracked. "I made mistakes. I thought I was protecting my daughter. I didn't think the damage would go this far. I thought silence was love. I was wrong. But it was too late. The damage was done. The legacy shattered. The lie exposed." Toni Braxton released a song 2 weeks later titled Daughter of Silence. It was subtle, haunting, and filled with layered references only true fans would understand. She never confirmed who it was about. She didn't have to. The lyrics told the story of a girl, hidden in the music, raised by echoes, and forgotten by the very voice that birthed her. It was art. It was pain. It was truth. Ashlee's documentary premiered on Netflix 1 month later and instantly trended Haitian. The story of a child raised in lies, a family that protected a secret instead of a soul, and the aunt who blew it all up to save her. It resonated deeply. Oprah even called it the most important story of identity and forgiveness we've seen in a decade. And Tamar? She closed her final interview with a smile that said both peace and power. Sometimes you gotta break the family rules to save the family. And sometimes, your real family is the one that tells the truth. Whew! If this Braxton bombshell didn't leave you breathless, you weren't paying attention. Tamar came with receipts, Ashlee came with grace, and the truth hit harder than any scripted scene could ever deliver. From hidden maternity to falsified records, this was the realest chapter the Braxtons have ever lived, and it's still not over. Whose side are you on? Do you think Towanda ever deserved forgiveness? Was Evelyn truly protecting her daughter? Or just herself? And will Ashlee and Tamar's truth finally inspire other families to stop living in silence? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and smash that subscribe button, because with families like these, the tea is always hot, and the secrets never stay buried for long. Number Tamar Braxton. Number Towanda Braxton. Number Ashlee Braxton. Number Braxton Family Secrets. Number DNA Reveal. Number Real Mothers. Number Netflix Doc. Number Braxton Drama. Number Family Exposed. Number Black Family Healing.